So, today, I want to talk about fatherhood. So there's this preacher, and I'm not going to get preachy on you, but I just want to let you know there's this preacher by the name of T.D. Jakes. He's a pretty big deal in the Christian realm and in other spheres. I'm not a big fan of the mega churches, but he does run a mega church. I believe he has a couple of them, but I know he has at least one. And he does a ton of speaking and videos and inspiration and a lot of great things. You know, the man can deliver the word. He can deliver words in general, even outside of the Christian realm. The man can speak. So I pay attention to speakers. Potter's House. There you go. So I pay attention to speakers, and because I pay attention to speakers and I pay attention to people's stories as part of me being able to convey mine and understanding how to communicate with people and being a student and learning from others. One of the things that I noticed is that there are a lot of tough people that really aren't that tough. And I don't mean that in an insulting way. I mean it that you believe that you are being macho prevents you from being vulnerable. And it makes, and one thing that I noticed about the gun industry, because remember guys, I'm not your typical gun person. I am not somebody that got into guns because I believed in the Second Amendment. That is not my story. My environment where I came from, we didn't talk about amendments, period. we didn't know anything really about those. So that wasn't my story. So a lot of the things that I've connected with since my childhood, I don't have the story of my dad fought for rights and then I fought for rights and my family has always served in the military. That's not my story. But the things that I held near and dear to my heart drove me to understanding awareness and my rights and the Constitution and studying and my ancestry and my history and the history of this country and what others have been through, world history, things like that. But there were things that drove me to those points. And one of the things that always drove me there was the desire to be a dad, right? And like I said, this conversation might not fit everybody because I know we're always used to talking about the tough macho stuff, but I'm going to talk about it because somebody probably needs to hear it. Being fatherless, right? There is an absence in a young man. And I'm not saying this excludes young girls, all right? But I can only really speak from a young man's point of view, personally. I can tell you what a lot of young ladies have said, but it's not my personal story. Coming from that situation, being fatherless and being abused and tossed around in different foster homes as a kid and things like that. And I was born to a 13-year-old mom. So living in the environment we had to live in and coming up to where we came up, me and my friend, I mean, it's not that it's unique. It's honestly, it's too normal. So I think that's why we need to talk about it a little bit more in ways that we don't. Because normally when we bring up that conversation, what we focus on is, oh, you're going to be in trouble, or, oh, you're making excuses for your life. But we're not even going to talk about none of that stuff tonight, guys. What I want to convey to you is that I want you to embrace whatever your struggle was. Even if you had both parents and it was a lovely situation, it doesn't mean that you being a parent now or you being a father figure isn't difficult. It doesn't mean that. I've noticed by paying attention to the things that we actually go through can cause a lot of turmoil on us. So I'll go back to T.D. Jakes. He has this CD. It's several years old now, but I was even listening to it today. I've read the book and I've listened to the CD a lot. And it's called He Motions. So like emotions, but he motions, right? And he even speaks about she motions in there a little bit. And what we have to understand and what we have to be realistic about is, so I am a father that had no example to go by. Not even the uncle that was a great husband. I didn't have the friend's dad who was a great husband or a great father. Like, that wasn't my story. I didn't see that. I didn't have that, right? So everything that I did, I was trying to figure out. One day I was single as can be, not a care in the world, just trying to figure out life myself. And then you blink and I got 2 kids, right? And I had to figure this thing out. I didn't have anybody I could call up and ask. Now, my friends had children, right? But at this point, they kind of doing their own thing. And I've been around their kids. They're my God kids. I love them. But now I got to do it. So it's a little bit different than witnessing and dropping off some candy and play fighting with the kids and going home, right? This is a whole different thing. And what I noticed that from being a father is the rewards are great. But I think men have ignored the fact that the stress we are put up under. And once again, not excluding ladies. I'm just really talking to the men tonight. We've excluded the pressures that come with that. The mental stress on you, because being a dad is much more than kicking a ball or throwing a ball or talking to your daughter about what she wants from the store, or talking to your son about the latest girl he has a crush on. It's way more than that, right? And if you're a husband and a father, that's a lot. If you own a home and you have to maintain a home, you still have to go to work. If you're running a side business, if you have other hobbies and interests, if you are part of boards or things in your community, you also have to be there for your kids. You have to take on the family's emotional stress as well, right? Your kids are stressed. They're going through things as they're coming up. Your significant other is stressed. They're going through things as they're going through life. And you have to balance and absorb all of that. And then you have to be the symbol of strength. You have to constantly be that symbol of strength that everybody else looks to and that they dump on, right? And so what happens? You get used to doing that, dad, father figure, man of the house, etc. You get used to doing that, and then society has taught us, especially since young boys, that we aren't supposed to have emotions. Men don't cry. We don't get sad. You stand up, you pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you go out there and get it. And look, I'm a hustler. I haven't stopped moving since I don't know when. I get yelled at all the time to go sit down, right? So that doesn't mean that you're lazy because you're paying attention to your stress levels. But we have been taught since early on that we don't show emotions, but then we're expected to develop the emotions of others and to safeguard their emotions when we become the leaders of our households, right? So there is a disconnect in society about that. And so what I want you to realize is you have a lot on you, and you need to pay attention to that stress that is on you. And it doesn't mean that you cave to it. It just means you don't let it creep up on you and push you over the edge, right? Statistically, if a man is going to hurt himself, if he's going to commit suicide, it's going to be in his 40s and 50s. Okay? So why is that? That's because things have built up over time, and now they're coming to bear. It's coming to bear. So you need to be able to have these conversations. Get you there's nothing wrong with going to see a therapist. Nothing. And it doesn't mean that you're imbalanced. It just means maybe you need to talk. But you need to understand, between being taught that you're not allowed to be emotional, you never got a chance to really develop your emotions. So when you look at a whole lot of people, you wonder why the first thing they resort to is violence, right? It's violent because we don't know how to maintain our emotions, but we have been taught that don't be a punk and to go out there and fight. So when you mix all that together, we've never been taught how to handle our emotions. And then a lot of men get into the situations with significant others of their households and they abuse their families, right? Because they don't know how to navigate those waters. They don't. The pressure mounts, and then because you haven't observed where it's coming from, it pushes you over the edge. It becomes too much. So what I want you to do is to pay attention. Doesn't mean you don't do your job, but I want you to pay attention to yourself. When those kids come and tug on you and say, daddy, daddy, or those nieces or nephews come and say, uncle, uncle, everybody's tugging on you. The people you love in your life are pulling on you and asking you for things, whether it's monetary or you just being there. Yes, you have to do those things. We took this job, right? We took on this position as being men in society. That's what we decided to do. So forget all the political debates. Forget all the who's for what and who's for this and who's for that. I want to talk to your heart, man. I am not of the belief that you have to walk around and pretend to be tough all the time. I am also not in the belief that you need to walk around and put your head down and act like you're a victim 24 hours a day, 7 days a week as well. So there is a balance there, but you need to pay attention to yourself and your own individual stress levels. Take a moment away from the kids. Take a moment away. Speaking of kids, come here. I got one saying, good night to me now. 13. He my same height and wear my shoes. All right, boy. Good night, man. Love you, boy. Love you too. So sometimes you need to take those breaks, guys. You need to take a break from even your significant other. Say, hey, a couple of times a month, I'm gonna go fishing. And if you don't know how to fish, man, ask a friend to show you. I just learned how to fish a couple of years ago. I'm still not good. I caught a carp, a carp. It was about that big. I was so happy, right? It was about that big. But I caught a little carp. But you know what? I found out that fishing was relaxing to me. Me going to the range to shoot is relaxing to me. So I've in reading the books, right? The books, reading, all these things is relaxing to me. I'm not a drinker, but I'll have an occasional drink, and now I'll have an occasional cigar. It's cool. It's a nice little getaway of relaxing me because I'm normally around other men and we just talk manly things. But I need you to purge some of that pain and that frustration that you're going through, that you've been taught since knee high, that you're not allowed to show. Because when it comes out of you, it's going to blow up, right? Why do you think domestic violence is so big? Now, granted, there are just some idiots, right? But domestic violence is also from detaining a lot of those men. I can tell you, they will say quickly, I don't even know why I did that. I don't know why I did it. But then when you keep talking to them, what I would find out is they would say, man, but my job is tripping. The cars keep breaking down. I got to pay all these taxes. And, you know, I was trying to be there for my kids. And then I got the kids in the house, but I got these other kids that I got outside of the house that I'm trying to take care of. And everybody yelling at me saying I ain't doing enough. And I'm trying to do enough. And she told me that I need new floors. And I tried to come in and install the new floors. I couldn't do it. So I called somebody else, but then her car broke down. So I had to take that money and put it into the car. But then I got my nieces and nephews calling me saying they need, everybody's like unc or dad or unc. And then next thing you know, I blow up. Because I feel that whatever I do is not enough. And I haven't been taught to really manage these emotions and to deal with things accordingly, right? I'm trying to figure this out as I go along. And that's why you get into your 40s and 50s and the suicide rate skyrockets. A lot of people wait to be empty nesters. They wait till they feel like their kids are on their own, and then it's boom, they give up. Or some of them even decide to try to reset life and go live the youth they feel like they never had, right? But you can still be the great figure, the great father, the great inspirer, the great uncle, the great figure, the great leader that you are. None of that has to lack, but you will not be able to sustain that if you do not take care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself. I have, for the last 3 years, started off pretty slow and picked up, right? Been doing nothing but pouring out into civil rights, being a good dad, right? And what happened this last year? I gained about 30 pounds, right? Because I focused on everything but myself. So now I'm focused on that and I'm getting that back under control. But mentally, what was that doing to me? I found myself soaking, and not that I was depressed. I just found myself in these like weird places. Like, oh man, just my energy was zapped and I was just like, God. And then, you know, when my kids would come around the corner, I would perk up because I have to be happy for them because they have to see dad be happy and dad be in a great position. You know, I got my wife, you know, and her needs and what she wants, and she's trying to start different ventures and the investments I have to make into her. So it's giving of yourself so much because that's what you've been told a man does. And for a lot of us, we're trying to figure out what manhood is. And the first thing we try to do is take care of the ones we love. But we don't bother to take care of ourselves. And you don't want that to go from natural stress to mental illness. Because believe you me, it can change. It can go from stress that you can just need to manage, go out, get some reprieve time, to all of a sudden being something that is mentally wrong with you because you've allowed those links in your mind to snap. Because you want to do so well, but you don't know how. And so when we get online and we're talking about politicians this and racists that and, you know, who sucks today or, you know, what the NFL is doing or what world politics is. Okay, cool. But what's going on in your house? Because the world is going to be there for you to bicker and argue with forever. It's not going anywhere. Whatever issue that you're hot about online, trust me, it's going to be there in some shape or form or fashion forever, right? But what's going on in your house? Because your house is not forever. So what are you doing? And I've noticed that a lot of men have used social media as outlets. A reason why a lot of people are getting on these platforms and bursting out and yelling at individuals and becoming hostile in their conversation or even cracking cruel jokes is because they don't have an outlet. So what do? Instead of, and these are stories people have shared with me, instead of understanding that they need to take care of self, and they need to take some reprieve and they need to reinvest into who they are and understand the stress is happening to them because they're trying to be a good person in their life, they lash out at the people they feel they can't really hurt, which is the people online. So they make up these fake profiles. Now, there are just idiots that do it, but then there are people that are really hurting that hide behind avatars that go out to issue the pains, right? So you have to be aware of yourself. So men, fathers, I don't care what your profession is. I don't care, what you aspire to be. I don't care what your political views are. I don't care about any of that. Any of that. I don't care if you only follow me because you're always looking for a reason to try to debate me. I don't care if you follow me because you like me. The fact of the matter is, somebody needed to hear today that you need to take care of yourself, right? Because when it boils down, man, I don't ask people when I help them, I don't ask them what their political views are. It means nothing to me. Nothing. I don't care, right? And the only reason I might ask somebody what their profession is because it might play a big part in the conversation. But I really don't care what your political views are. I really don't ultimately care what you do for a living. I care about you as a human being. So what investment are you making into yourself to make sure that you're okay? So while we're bickering and arguing amongst each other or we're busy going to work and we're working 2-3 shifts and overtime, or we're going to work and then you know how you go to work and then you get off work and you go to your other job, right? You do that side hustle, so you might be a fireman in the day and cut grass in the evening, or you might be a cop that works overnight shift, but you go do secondary details at the Quick Trip or the local gas station or the local auto parts store, whatever, or you're a carpenter, but yet you work for a carpenter company, but when you get off of that clock, you go and do all the side jobs. That you realize that when you are doing all of that, that is less time for you to invest in yourself. So my challenge to you, sir, leader, father figure, whatever you may be, my challenge to you is to find something that relaxes you. Find a thing. Find that hobby. And it might not be guns, man. It might not be. Right? But find whatever it is that relaxes you. Could it be just picking up a new hobby? I found that I went back to my childhood, personal story. I went back to my childhood, but one thing that I really enjoyed was riding bikes. So to kind of deal with making sure I did something I like and something that could help me out with physical fitness, last year I went and bought a very expensive bike, in my opinion. It's normally $1,400. I caught it on sale for half off. So I spent $700 on the bike, and then they kept selling me all these other. I had to buy a helmet. So by the time I was done, it was probably like close to $1,000. By the time I bought the helmet and the cushy thing, I had to get the tights with the extra cushion in the booty because my ass was hurting. So I had to get the extra comfortable seat with the tights with the cushion in the booty because my ass was hurting. I used to my ass hurting, so I had to take care of that. So I went out and got the bike, but it relaxes me when I ride it, right? And it's a duality because I get to be healthy, but I get to be relaxed. Music. So I enjoy music and movies. I don't get to watch TV, but normally when I'm doing things, I can put on some earbuds and I can listen to some music and multitasking what I'm doing. So I try to play that as much as I can, but find your thing. And I like reading, so I'll read, but find your thing. What is your thing? And if you don't know what it is, look into it. Figure out what you might want to try. Go out and explore something new. Talk to a buddy of yours that's been doing something that you have never thought about doing and go explore it. Hiking is fun to me. It's something that I noticed that I liked a lot. When I was a kid, I used to walk through alleys a lot, and I never knew why. I just liked the alleys, don't ask me. But I walked through alleys a lot, but I would explore the alleys because that's what I had to explore. So I was like, I can go hiking and just explore the woods now, right? And that's just going to think about what I did when I was a kid. So do that, right? Just go out and figure out what it is that you can use to better yourself and you can invest back into yourself. So please, fathers, dads, father figures, uncles, brothers, take time and pour back into you. Because I don't want to see more and more stories about you giving up. I don't want you raising families that just made it and couldn't be happy because dad was never happy. But you're not happy because you never poured into yourself. And don't be afraid to politely tell the ones that you love that sometimes you need to be loved. It's okay. It's okay. If you need a back rub, ask for one. You know, and if you haven't, and if you do have a significant other, something that can help you, do me a favor. Google love languages. I know it's not the manly thing to do, guys. I get it. But I want you to Google love languages and figure out your love language and what you like, right? And there are 5 of them. I want you to look into those love languages, and maybe you need to communicate that to the people around you and say, hey, you know what? I know my job is to do, but man, if you could help me out with these things, that would be great. So invest into whatever it is, guys, that can help you relax, that can help you be better, and that can rejuvenate who you are. And then do that thing periodically. So it's not once a year, you know, do that thing a couple of times a month, right? Instead of spending money going, you know, to do whatever that doesn't give you anything, save that money and invest into that new hobby. Try out a new thing. And if it happens to be fishing you like, great, man. Buy that rod you've always wanted, the X5 8000, right? The shark puller, whatever, man. Go out and buy that. If it happens to be that you like going to the range, cool, man. I grab you, invest in a nice toy, build your custom thing, and go out there and you burn some brass up at the range. And don't give a damn what anybody says about what you bought online. Who cares? Do you enjoy it? Great. You go out and you have a great time at the range. If it is having a great cigar sitting out on your deck or just sitting in a lawn chair on your front porch, man, whatever. You deserve it. So I know that we get lost a lot in the bickering or the confines of life, right? And so we're looking at people like, how could you feel this way? Because my life shows me this. And you know what? You're lashing out at people not because you're not capable of articulating yourself. You're lashing out at them because they become an easy outlet for you to lash out at. So please take time and invest in yourself because you deserve it. You deserve it, right? I told you that I wasn't going to, I promised you guys several months ago, probably more than that it was never going to, this platform is about way more than guns. We aren't going to always have that as a conversation. We understand that probably 75% of the people on this platform are here because they have some type of affiliation with civil rights and or gun rights. But there are a lot more that I want to bring in because you guys need to understand that this life is about more than that, right? So we are going to have conversations like this more often. We are going to talk about fathers, family, things like that, because those are the things that bind us, right? You can totally disagree with somebody politically, but you might not even know that when you're walking down the street and with when they're walking down the street with their family and you're walking down the street with yours, you see a family and you can respect that. Because you can say, oh, wow, that person's really, you know, they're doing what I do. You know, they can really respect that. So pour into yourselves, guys. That way you can be better for the ones around you. Understand that the inability to love normally comes from the lack of loving thyself, right? So we normally are just getting by day to day. And that's why we start trying to replace love with just monetary value. And you will hear that coming from a lot of kids and a lot of women. They'll say, all you do is provide. Yeah, you provide, but that's it. You're not here. Your check is here. Your physical body is here, but your mind is never with us. You know why, guys? Because you can't figure out how to love them because you never took the time and figured out how to love yourself. That is the story of so many men in this country, right? And so social media, once again, becomes an outlet. It's easy to get online and yell because you don't want to yell and hurt the ones that you love. But you haven't really figured out how to love yourself. That's why you can't manage those emotions. And there's nothing wrong with that. You just need to figure that out. So while we're so busy, talking about all these other things, believe you me, that despite who it may be, what political figure, from the president down to your local city alderman, what superstar it is, from the top of the food chain down to the bottom, all these debates that we're having, None of these people are going to come into your home and help you out with your issues. But when you spend a lot of time bickering and arguing online trying to help and defend theirs, why don't you spend a little bit of time on you? Right? So let's try to have those conversations a little bit more. I want to see more men being able to talk to each other, more women being able to ask men questions about, hey, what can I do for him? Right? Maybe the women need a resource to go to and ask an unbiased opinion about, hey, what can I do for him? And Lord forbid, guys, and look, I'm not going to hide about this too. Stop being ashamed of loving your women. I don't care what the world pours out there and what the world says that we're supposed to be and you can be. And I don't interfere with people's lives. I allow them. I think that we all agree. We all just want to be left alone, right? Essentially, we just want to be left alone to be free and be who we are. So I don't interfere in anybody's freedom. That's not my place. I'm not God. I'm not going to try to do that. I have no dog in that fight, so to speak. What I will say is we have to make sure that we are accepting of our roles. We are accepting of the roles that we've agreed to have. But we also have to make sure that we do the maintenance on self to keep up with that obligation. There's nothing wrong with loving your soul out, right? But you gotta replenish. They need more than money, man. They need more than just seeing daddy go and punch a clock and buy a new bike, or come into the house and sit at the table and mom drop a plate in front of them and that be that, right? They need more than that. Your kids need a loving touch. They need you to actually be there. They need you to actually hug them. Your daughters need to be able to cry. Your sons need to be able to cry, right? Now you manage that how you manage that, but believe you me, you don't want to start them off believing they can't be emotional either. Now there's a balance there. We don't want victims, right? There is a balance, but you got to make sure you allow them to have their emotions. You want to make sure that you are investing in the people the way that they need to be invested into, embracing them, building them up, molding them so we can have positive pillars in society. But there's no point of building positive pillars to go out into society if the foundation is cracked and crumbling, which is you, because you never poured into yourself. So I implore you, please, whether it's reading, bike riding, the range, building model toys. I recently helped one person find an outlet, and you know what it was? Legos. It was literally going back doing Legos and puzzles. But that's what this grown, successful man enjoyed. But he didn't know it. We were just having a conversation, and we were trying to figure out what he could do. And I said, well, tell me about your childhood, man. Just tell me about some funny times over your friend's house, stuff like that. And I heard Legos like 3 or 4 times. It's like, hey, let's go buy you some Legos. Let's do that. Let's get some Legos. And now he builds Legos. And that relaxes him. You'll never see it online. You'll never see it on social media. But he does that because it relaxes him, and that allows him to love others better, because he was able to find something that he can actually go back to. He can smile. I know plenty of people that build little model toys and things like that as a way to relax. People go boating if your money can afford that. ATVs and stuff like that. Look, man, find something, whatever. But stop letting your outlet for your frustrations be social media. You know, stop letting that happen. Because what is it really achieving? Right? All this stuff is a library of what we do. Somebody can always go back and pull up what you said, how you said it, when you said it, why you said it. And when you're bickering and yelling constantly and all the time, what does history see you as? Right? Or does history even remember your name? Right? And if your kids were to find it, what would they say about you? Like if that's all you did, right? So invest into yourself, man. Love yourself. Figure out what you need. But no, we've been taught since knee high for a lot of us that we aren't allowed to be emotional. And now you're expected to carry the weight of everybody's emotions in your household. For those of us that didn't see fathers, or those of us that had a bad example as a father, because that's a problem too, we're trying to figure out how to do this thing every day. And it's frustrating and it's challenging and it's something that we have to navigate through. So as you're trying to navigate through all those different obstacles and you're trying to figure that stuff out, and everybody's coming to you, tugging on you this way and that way. Daddy, I need. Baby, I need. Can you do this? Can you do this for my mama? Hey, my sister need this. Did you get to the store? You know the water heater went out. Hey, did you fix my car? Hey, did you pay the taxes? Hey, did you register? Hey, are you still working at overtime so we can get the extra money to go on that trip you promised me we were going on? Hey, babe, you know my pants are getting too big because I gained a little weight. Can we buy me some new clothes? Hey, can you please make sure that you go outside and cut the grass because we got company coming over? Hey, are you going to get up and barbecue for everybody this weekend like you said you were? Hey, Dad, I need to make sure that my bike is fixed because I want to go bike ride with my friends. Hey, Dad, I'm joining this gymnastics team and I need this new outfit. Oh, Dad, I also need this new instrument for a drum class. I need to make sure that I get that. Hey, babe, I'm having a bad day. Can you really sit down and talk to me? Hey, Dad, this girl broke my heart. I need to talk. Hey, Dad, I didn't do good today and I need to feel better about it. Hey, I need help with my homework. Hey, did you fix the rail in the basement because we have to do this? Hey, did you order that new washing machine and dryer because it doesn't work anymore? Hey, the plumbing went out. Can you go fix that? Hey, the garage door is not coming down. Hey, can you go take care of that and get that fixed? Hey. But when do you take a moment for you? And when do you take a moment to tell everybody else? Once again, your challenge tonight is to Google. I want you guys to Google love languages and read them. And tell the appropriate people in your life, hey, you know what? I'm giving a lot. If you could do this for me, that will help me. And I'm going to start picking up some things. So there might be a couple hours a week that you guys are going to have to fend for yourself. Because I'm going to go out and I'm going to invest in myself. So look up the love languages. And I also want you guys to Google emotions. The book, I've read the book. The book is great. The book should be no more than like $10, man. It's called Emotions by T.D. Jakes. And the CD is also great too. You can YouTube it and listen to it on YouTube if you want. Or if you got one of those streaming services, you can do that. But make sure that you're pouring into yourself and make sure you're understanding the frustrations that can happen to you as a man. Because all these political arguments and all these things that seem to be cool, none of those things are going to be fruitful. I don't care what the world may think of me. My family is what's important. You don't really ultimately care what I think of you. You care what your family thinks of you. I can have whatever opinion about you I want, right? But I don't cause any sway in your life. But your family does. But you can only be good for them if you're good to yourself. So I need for you guys to take that opportunity. Have the conversations with those around you that need to know. Don't just disappear on them, guys. Don't just disappear. Tell them, communicate this. Think about it first, articulate it, and say, hey, you know, I need our schedules look like this. And on this day, I have an opportunity. We can make an opportunity for me to go do this thing. I would just really like to go do that. And I might be doing that a couple of times a month. So can you help support me in making sure that I can go do this thing uninterrupted? I don't need a phone call calling me back quick. I don't need an emergency text message. I need for you, whomever you are, to be able to hold down the fort while I go to the gas station because I need to refill myself. And everybody's gas station is different. So I know we are supposed to be tough, macho people. I know that we always, we got to shrug. We got to show off our big guns and we got to tell people, you fringe on my rights. And you're going, yeah, all right, whatever. That's cool. But look, you can do all that, but I need you guys to pour into yourselves. I promise you that my platform is going to be a place where we are going to have all the conversations that we need to have. I am big on civil rights. I have to look at my children and let them know that what daddy is doing is something that's very important, right? On top of that, I sit on a board of 2 organizations. I run another organization. I run another business. I know that the stress can become a lot, right? So I'm talking to you guys. I'm talking to myself as well. And David just dropped the 5lovelanguages.com. Guys, do yourself a favor, man, and go look at that, right? And while you're there, it can probably help you understand how to communicate and love the people around you as well, right? Because you can probably figure out their love languages. It's a great thing to do. It's a great thing to do. So listen to emotions. So it's emotions, but emotions. Listen to emotions. And to get the CD, I advise you to listen to the CD. There's a song on there. Man, I got to be honest with you. And it's tough for me because I know I'm a tough dude. I'm 6 foot 250. Like You know, I got RBF real bad, you know. You know, got RBF real bad. So I know I got to be tough, right? I come from the gutter, man. So I've been fighting since I was yay high. I understand toughness. But I didn't realize how weak I was on the inside until years and years ago. So I've always made sure I maintain that. And there's a song on He Motions. I don't know the track number, but it's called Where Are the Fathers, right? And it's a woman. It's from a woman's point of view. And she's singing it. And man, that song, whew, if you real macho, listen to it by yourself. It's called Where Are the Fathers on He Motions, on the TD Jakes He Motions CD. It is amazing. And then there's another song on there where it's Thank You. And it's, once again, a woman singing thank you for being a dad. Thank you for all the frustration. Thank you for setting the example. Thank you for taking the abuse. Thank you for carrying the weight. Because the society has started to teach us that I don't really think there's a traditional male, but that father figure is risky to society. We hear things like, you'll hear terms along the lines of, what is it? Masculine, what is it? What does they say? Masculine, toxic, whatever that y'all know what I'm trying to say. Where you're too masculine, so it's toxic, and all those different things. You have to understand that you need to love you, and you need to take care of you so you can be the best version of you. Just like I'm tired of people trying to tell me what they can do or what they're going to do with my civil rights or my God-given rights. I'm also tired of people pretending like they can tell me when it's okay for me to hurt and when it's okay for me not to. And the one thing that I've challenged, and I'm around a lot of strong people, from the inspirational sphere, the public speaking sphere, the civil rights sphere, the gun sphere. I'm around a lot of different people for a lot of different reasons all the time. And one thing I can tell you is that all the men in these different arenas have the same problem. They don't love themselves the right way. They pour, and they pour. They never ask. They just give. And you give 40, 45, 50, 55, and it's lights out. Lights out. Because you're tired. Or you start, all right, the kid's gone. I just sit in my chair every night and I soak and I stare at TV because I don't know what else to do. I've given up. So that's what I wanted to tell you guys tonight, man. So your homework, if you will, listen to He Motions. Pick up the book if you're brave. It should be less than $10 now. He Motions by TD Jakes. Listen to the CD. Google 5 love languages and read them. All right. And figure out what you need and convey that to the ones around you, to the appropriate people. And start investing in yourself and become stronger in yourself. And do that thing that you like to do, man, and be proud in doing it. And don't let nobody tell you that you shouldn't. Yeah. So I know for me, it's about pouring back into who we are. And a lot of times, men, we forget to talk about who we are. Society chooses for us what videos are viral and what information we listen to, and I've went against the grain. What did somebody tell me? I'm taking a risk of ruining a tough guy persona in the 2A community. And I have to constantly remind people, I'm just not a gun guy. You can't just call me a gun guy. I do like guns. And I am all about civil rights, which include the Second Amendment. So I fight for it just like I fight for the rest of them. So and then I'm a trainer. So I have a skill set to teach people how to stay alive. So yeah, I'm definitely around guns and this and that. And people are like, well, you're going to take a hit to your reputation, man. I'm talking about all this other stuff. You're like family and kids and emotions and okay. Because I didn't come here for that. I came here to help, right? That's what I got online for. This stuff is not simply about gaining all the followers. I like it when people say, and I don't consider people followers. I consider them supporters. So when somebody hits a button, they didn't have to, that's awesome. But what are we really, man? What are we? Are we just one thing? Are we just this only thing? Are we only what we do for a living? Are we only what political stance we are? Are we only Republican? Are we only Democrat? Are we only Libertarian? Are we only Tea Party? Like, what are we? We're multifaceted human beings, man. There's a lot that goes on. So, yeah, you probably care about some things more than others in your life. But I'm going to tell you right now, the reason why I teach people to stay alive is because I care about the person. The reason why I speak to people and travel the country and talk and go to schools is because I care about the people. Period. So when I put out a video that says, what was the title of that video? It's something interesting to YouTube, guys. It's called I Hate Black Men. And YouTube it. It's called I Hate Black Men. And I'll just have you watch it. I won't even tell you what it was about. But go watch that video. Now, in comparison, I put out a video blasting somebody about something silly they said, the double extended Burrow magazine clip thing, right? That went viral. That's took off. That went viral. It is gazillions of views, right? But I put out a video talking about the emotions and dispelling some of the emotions of black men. And I titled it, I Hate Black Men, but you'll be surprised when you listen to it, just how much I was giving them. And that video didn't even get over 1,000 views. You know what I mean? So we also have to be responsible for what we are allowing to intake. I'm pretty sure it's several of you that could stand to listen to a video with somebody telling you that they respect you because of who you are. So we gotta watch what we're absorbing too and what we're taking in. Right? We have to be cognizant of that. So welcome to the world of KD, man. It's I know that a lot of you are around because it's like guns. Cool. You in the right place. I ain't saying you're in the wrong place. You're in the right place. But remember, I am just like you are. We're multifaceted. So we got a lot going on. So in order to really be a benefit to the conversation, to be a benefit to the country, and be a benefit to the world, I have to be a benefit to you as individuals. And some of that is being a leader in a leader in the sense of starting the conversation that we all should be having. Once again, man, stuff like this, don't get me wrong, I appreciate my good friends over at Canik. I really do. And I'm going to get out and I'm going to shoot this thing. Right? Stuff like this is cool. This is awesome. This is great. Absolutely awesome. Guns are cool. They're great. It's a new thing. We want to drool over them. And I'm not saying you're wrong for drooling over them. Then even after that one's done, I mean, hell, I got my own. Here's the truth. All right. First guns to fight, gun control, the whole 9 yards, right? Definitely a gun guy. Just not only that, right? So guns are cool. Books are cool. You are cool. Right? So we have to be very mindful of that. So love yourself, guys. Pour into yourself. Give to yourself. I don't care about your political stances. If I got beef with you about a political stance, I'll fight you at the ballot box. But I would still sit down and have a conversation with you after that battle about what we can do to make sure your house is okay. About what we can do to make sure that your kids are okay. If you're going through stress and you need an outlet, I will still listen to you. I won't give up. I don't give a damn what box you checked on a form. I don't care. I don't care. I don't. I care about you. Right? So when we get through bickering and look, I'm sarcastic as hell. I'm just as sarcastic as everybody else. I get it. When people ask me, why are you so passionate about it? Because I'm passionate about people. I didn't start this public crap, man, just to show y'all how many guns I got. I got a lot. And that's not even 5% of what my day is invested into. I have a responsibility just like you do. See, I'm no different than you. We are the same, essentially. I have the responsibility to make sure that the ones looking to me understand that daddy was knowledgeable. And he did everything that he could. So no matter what he stood on, even if they grew up to disagree with me, they can say, oh, but my daddy was knowledgeable. He read, he studied, he was calculated, and he did everything he could do to love us and to pour into us and invest in us. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't give a damn what anybody has to say about what issue is going on. Right now, the topic of the day is Jay-Z and the NFL, right? You know what? The main reason why I had nothing to say about that is because today, I knew about it and I've listened to it, but it was the first time in a long time between last night and tonight that I got to hang out with my girls. My son was gone. I got to hang out with my girls. Got to see my wife after a crazy couple of weeks, and my daughter hung out with me. I had to go find some new tires for my truck, and they just rode around with me. And I got to take my baby to go get some ice cream. And she got to tell me about the new gymnastic move she did. I found out my child is a legit contortionist. Like, we found that out a couple of months ago. Daddy is not happy about the flexibility of his daughter. That's a whole nother conversation. I am not okay with this. I might need some help. I'm not okay with her flexibility at all. However, she got to tell me about the new thing she can do. And she got to sit on my lap and just talk to me about her day at school. You think I give a damn about what Jay-Z had to say while she having that conversation with me? You think I got time to care about what O'Rourke said about the ARs costing $395 or $400, whatever the hell he said, versus a thing of insulin? Yeah, I heard it. But guess what? Right now, in that moment, it's about me and my babies, right? It's about me and my sweethearts. So that's what I was doing. That day I was being a dad. Wasn't no social media. Wasn't no daddy need to go outside and daddy need to give the world his input. Because right now I'm giving the input to my world, which is my girl. So who needs you? For real, who needs to sit on your lap or sit by your side? Right? But remember, while they need to do that, you as well need to make sure that you're investing back into yourself. You know? Like, make sure you're giving back to yourself. Because, guys, I get it. We all got different roles. I'm on her, granted, Time Magazine and TV and all this crap. Okay. You know what my proudest moment always is? It's being a father. That is the best thing I have ever done in my life. And the only way I can keep at doing that is to make sure I understand how to love myself and to replenish that tank and to make sure that I'm always good to go as long as I need to go to love these people in this household. That's the best job I've ever done. I take away from them to share and go out into the world and to speak and to motivate and to fight for our rights. I take away from them. So they give of me for I can go out and make sure that they have a better world to grow up in. But it's the best damn thing I have ever done. Period. There is no viral video. There is no being on a TV show. There is no great instructor. There is no great thing that defeats the fact that I can hug and love on my children and I can love that beautiful chocolate woman. There is nothing that beats that. But I'm only as good, well, I'm only good to them if I'm taking care of myself. So fellas, when you're done being tough, man, you know, When you're done talking about who head you a knockoff, when you're done talking about what gun you got, when you're done talking about, oh, I slayed somebody in this social media post, or, you know, I had to give it to so-and-so, and I had to do this, and I had to do that. All right, bro, cool, man. Look, when you done being tough, I need you to be vulnerable. And I need you to admit that when everybody is pulling on you, and when the world is asking you for everything, and when you don't have any room for error, when you're trying to figure out your own way, and when you're still trying to figure out when you get a chance to be loved and to love, and when you're looking at everybody saying, yo, I need you, and you giving, and you giving, and you giving, and then the world is telling you, oh, but you got to give more. So you go back to giving, and people tugging, and you trying to push this life, and that life, and this life, and these people to be great. Brother, when you gonna be great? And you only gonna be able to do that if you invest in yourself. Get people around you that believe in you. Get people around you that will pour into you. And get people around you that are worth pouring into. For you can be great. Because I'm telling you, I am sick and tired of watching so many men get into their 40s, their 50s, and give up. And that's because you've tried to do the right thing. You've tried. You're doing it, man. You're sitting here watching this video now, probably looking out at the environment around you like, damn, feel that. Because I can look right now and be like, oh, stainless steel refrigerator, stainless steel stove, big ass ceiling fans, can lights. Never thought I'd have those as a kid. They told me my damn this chimney thing. I got to figure out how to use this, by the way. I've been in this house 5 years. I still lit this damn fireplace. But that's besides the point. Don't judge me. They told me this thing by itself is 80 grand if I needed to replace it. Damn. I look out in the driveway. I got 2 whips. I got 3 cars sitting outside. You kidding me? You kidding me? My kids each got their own room with their own flat screens TV. I have a guest room in my house. I have the kid from the gutter and sugar sandwiches has a guest room in his house. I got a house that's over 3,000 square feet. And the beauty in all of that, there was one thing that lit fire to me about this home. And guess what? You got it too. And you need to figure out what the hell it is. You know what that was though, fellas? That was the day I watched my kids run in their own backyard. My God. I watched them run and play in their own backyard. Made every sacrifice in life worth it. Because at that moment I said, my God, I've done it. I've done it. I've done it. And I need for you guys to realize that you're doing it. Love and love harder, but make sure that you're replenishing your own tank. Give more, but make sure you're receiving some. Because despite what society has told us, we need to have a way out. We need to be able to voice ourselves. We need to be loved, and we have the right to be emotional. The balance is making sure you don't fall victimhood to any of those things. The balance is making sure that you don't sulk and you still give back to what you need, because at the end of the day, you do have a job to do. But there is maintenance to everything. You even changed it. You changed the oil in your damn car. You changed the oil in your car, but you refuse to replenish the thing in the heart, the soul in yourself. Are we really that macho? Are we really that tough? So, hey guys, this thing is kicking me off. It's got 20 seconds. So that being said, I hope this helps somebody. I hope you share this. Tell somebody to watch it, because there are people out in the world that need to hear it. This has been KD. We are more than guns. We are a community. We are more than whatever you think your struggle is, because we're all in it together. So be strong. Be people of good character. People of good morals. I love you all. I'll see you later. Peace.